everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany. If you're new here, I do motherhood and lifestyle videos here on my channel, so welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own fabric mask at home using some fabric you can find around your house and your sewing machine. Now, just a disclaimer before we get started, this is not to replace any surgical or N95 masks that everybody's talking about recently. This also does not replace social distancing, which is the main way that we can stop the spread of COVID-19. So the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, has come out with some new studies saying that if you are asymptomatic and have COVID-19, wearing a fabric mask can really help stop the spread of those little droplets getting on to someone else or something else. Also, I highly recommend contacting your local hospital to see if they're accepting donations for any of these. If not, you can also call grocery stores or places where they take care of elderly people and to see if they're taking any donations as well. So with that being said, I thought I would make some of my own at home, and today I'm going to show you how I do that.
So what you're going to need for this project is some pins, some scissors, 3 pieces of 6x9 cotton fabric, which I've already cut out. And you're going to want to use either flannel or quilting cotton fabric, which works the best for making a mask. Then you're also going to want to find some elastic. I find 1/8 of an inch elastic works the best because it's thin and it won't be as uncomfortable as thicker elastic. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your flannel fabric and then place your cotton quilt fabric face up on top of that. And then you are going to start pinning the elastic pieces about 1/2 inch down on one side, and you're going to want to make sure that you don't twist the elastic as you pin it on the opposite side. It's okay if the elastic pulls a little bit, that should be normal, but I made sure that these were in place because I don't want them coming out when I'm sewing. So you're going to want to place the quilting cotton face down on top of that, and then I just place a few extra pins to keep it in place while I sew. Now the next step is to sew around the edge using about a 1/4 inch seam, and you're going to want to leave about a 2 inch gap open on the one side so that you can turn it right side out. Now when you're sewing around and you come to a corner, what you want to do is you want to keep the needle in the fabric and you're going to want to twist it. So then you're able to have one smooth seam all the way around the edges without having to cut any of your thread. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you are sewing over your elastic pieces, it's good to back stitch those to keep it more secure in place because there's going to be a little bit of tension on those and you want to make sure that those are going to be held in tightly. Once you've finished sewing all the way around, what I usually do is just trim the corners a little bit, making sure you're not snipping off any of your seams, but this will just create a little bit more of a cleaner corner for you when you turn it right side out. Once I'm done turning it right side out, then I'll take my iron and just press it a little bit to make sure that the seams are all pressed down nicely. And also for that opening that I will be closing up in a second here, it'll be nicely pressed down for it to be sewn together easily. Now that it's all pressed, I will start making the folds in the mask, and I'll take about a 1/4 inch and fold that over. Basically, I'm going to do this twice, and once I'm done folding, I will make sure that both sides are pinned, and then also the mask should be about 3 inches wide once I'm done making those folds. Now once I'm finished folding and pinning, I will take my iron again and just press that a little bit to emphasize on the folds while I'm sewing and give it a little bit more structure. The last thing that I'm going to do is sew all the way around using another 1/4 inch seam, and that will close my gap at the one end, and then I will be finished my mask. Now this took me only about 5 to 10 minutes to do for each mask, and you can make a bunch if you sit down and have a bunch cut out already.
So as you can see, it is a little bit small, but it can fan open for it to fully cover your face, and it works really, really well for when you're grocery shopping, when you're out of the house. So that's how I made my own fabric mask at home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you in my next one. Bye.